What's up, everybody? We are back for a Blaised Card Show. It's been a really long time. It's been a long time since I've sat here and talked about my collectibles and what I have and what I've found and what I plan to do and how I've done it. So we got a lot to talk about. I want to welcome everybody that's here. We got Wally, of course. What's happening, Wally? Wally, prime time's in the building. How you doing? Let me know how you guys can hear me. The audio's okay. Vic's in the house. What's up, Vic? Steel City Zone. Daniel Barry's in the house. How you doing, my brother? Make sure you go check us out on the Hardcore Sports Network as well as my Facebook. If you're on the Facebook side, come pop on over. Come see us, what we're doing. Here you find. Thank you very much. Cool. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I went to a card show this past week. Got to meet one of my followers out there, a friend of mine now, I would say. But we're going to get to a lot of the information, a lot of the stuff that I got. Hey, there's Mr. Bull Jive and Baloney. I was going to bring some guests on. I have the guys who ran the show, a couple of my card collecting friends, but I think I'm just going to hold off on it a little bit. I changed the lighting in the background because I do want to show off these cards over here later on. I'm going to talk about some of the collectibles here. And as I go over these cards, keep in mind, if anyone out there is interested to buy anything, slide into my DMs, drop me a comment. Who's your favorite player? Over half of my collection that you're going to see here today is up for grabs. I'm looking to get rid of most of it. I have my personal collection behind the old Blaised Radio Network logo here. I'll show you that too. So we're going to cover a lot of stuff. Did that. So, Mia, make sure you DM me, comment, and Nightbot will drop links about like where you can contact me if you haven't already. If you're not, you can get a hold of me, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Instagram, all that good shit. But it's been a little minute. I haven't been the best health-wise, but I'm getting there. I'm almost there. I deal with a lot of different health issues, and today I'm starting to feel a little better, so I wanted to get this one out. Kind of like an easier way to ease myself back into streaming. I'll be doing the wrestling content on Thursday again, and of course, we have football season coming right around as well. And I don't think my Nightbot's working. I haven't seen him yet. And he's probably like, where you been? I ain't seen you in a while. What happened? But Nightbot should drop links and stuff. If he doesn't, we'll see. But it's been a while. Corey, good to see you, my friend. We got the UK represented. Thanks for stopping in. So we're going to go over a bunch of things. I have a couple commercial breaks. We'll talk about some of my other stuff that I do. I have the card cam that we're going to bring up here momentarily, and we'll show off some cards that I got at the show, and we're going to show off some of the rest of my collection that I've had. Nothing major. I mean, I was telling one of the guys at the show, I don't think I've ever spent over $100 on one card. And nowadays, that's very rare. But I've collected since the late 70s, early 80s. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and just bring up the first. In collecting to investing to gambling. And this is how the hobby, to me, has gone. And these are all just my takes on it. A lot of the youth is a different type of collector. I collected to get my favorite player. I collected to complete a set. And if you go all the way back to the 50s and before, there were tobacco cards. So you got a card in a carton or a box of tobacco. So that's kind of where a lot of it started. If you go back far enough, I'll show you some of my really old cards that I did have some tobacco cards when I was heavy into collecting. Now, I've been selling and buying since I was a teenager. I'll be 51 in a couple days, and it's been great. Thank you, Corey. Yeah, I am doing better. Just recorded a Cutthroat Pro Wrestling match yesterday, so that's coming soon. And All Core Wrestling, I can't wait to do that as well. There we go, Nightbot kicking into gear. Well, there's LTD Wrestling. If you're interested in wrestling, we do digital wrestling here, which is fantasy wrestling with the 2K game. Can't wait to get back to doing that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about there. So to me, the hobby has gone from collecting to investing because things started to be worth a lot of money in the 80s and even so more into straight up gambling. And we'll get into that more when I expose the hobby later on. So to those heavy collectors out there, I'm not buying cases of cards. I was never one to go to get 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 of any card. I pretty much just wanted to get the complete set or my favorite players. And, you know, this is what the hobby has come to from me. And I've been watching some, you know, my love for the hobby goes in and out. My love for sports is always there. Obviously, you see around me. But my love for the hobby has kind of dipped and dived a bunch. And nowadays, we'll get into how things have changed to some of the newer things. When I started in the 80s, the beginning of my hobby, baseball. It was baseball cards. It was Topps, Donruss, Fleer. And you normally had one card in each. And then you had cards that were like all-star card, checklist, weird things like that, team cards. But mainly there was 3 cards to collect for a player. And there's my cat back there. How you doing, Blaze? What are you doing? And the other one's over there in that hole. That's Carmel. But if you're watching this replay, and I'll try to remind this throughout this stream, because I know a lot of people catch us on replay, and we'll try to keep it about an hour. Leave me a comment. You got a favorite player you want to buy? I got everything by player back in my bedroom. I might show a little bit of that in cases, in monster boxes and stuff. If you see anything that I show you, any of these individual cards, even the ones I just purchased, anything on this wall that I show you, and you're interested, drop me a DM. Drop me and I might sell it. I mean, most of the stuff I have in my collection right now, I'm willing to sell. I have my personal collection, which card collectors call their PC, and which I want to hold on to. We'll talk about some of the guys I'm collecting now. And there is a Jesse Jackhammer in the building. Temple, what's up, man? Saw you on Toad's channel earlier today. We're talking about collectibles today. And hit the like button. If you are a member of the channel, thank you for supporting the channel. Rob Machete, there's one right there, Rob Matchett. And I always say loyalty is currency. Available on the TeePublic store if you want to buy this shirt. And it means a lot to me. Hit the thumbs up, share it out, subscribe. That's all free. If you can monetarily donate to the channel, super chats, memberships, that's fantastic. If not, loyalty is currency, man. Just you showing up means a lot. You dropping likes, you leaving comments. That's why I do this. So in the 80s, I collected mainly basketball, mainly football, mainly baseball. But I did start collecting football and basketball at the same time. Yes, I had Jordan rookies. No, they weren't in perfect shape. And yes, I sold them. So thank you for being a member supporting the channel. Butterfly, a moderator supporting the channel as well. Appreciate you. And keep the thumbs up coming. Keep the likes coming. We are live also on my Facebook and on the Hardcore Sports Network. So give some love to those platforms as well. Like I said, if you're watching the replay, leave me a comment. Who's your favorite player? Who do you collect? If you saw a card or something that you're interested, we're going to open some packs and we're going to talk about that too. But in the 80s, they didn't overproduce cards. They didn't underproduce cards. I mean, it was just like you collected Topps, baseball. Oh, comic book collector. Well, Temple, you can see right over here, Spider-Man, Wolverine, G.I. Joe. I got Transformers number 1 through 4. I do collect comic books, but a very small comic book. I collect comic books for the art. I'm not a comic book reader. I don't read a lot of things. Comprehension skills were never that great. So I'm not really into reading a shit ton, but I do love artwork. And I do love the artwork in cards as well. And that has fallen to the wayside, in my opinion, big time. If you watch streamers go through packs of cards like this and just look for the big hits and the big money cards. I got Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man comics over there, Transformers. So we'll talk about the toys and stuff too. And while we're on that topic, before we go into the next topic, I want to welcome Brooklyn Joker, of course. Butterfly holding it down. Video game collector too. Awesome. Those have become big time. I wish I would have kept some of the old. I mean, this is where I started. Well, before this is where I started with video games, Atari. And I even had Pong when I was a kid. And I have an Atari flashback here, which is just a plug-in to play a couple of the games. And yes, blowing in the cartridges and all that good shit. But before we go to the next topic, I do want to take a little bit of a commercial break. We're going to get into, well, no, we'll go into the next. We'll do it after this one. Junk wax era. The junk wax era, the 90s, when they did start overproducing cards. You could find them everywhere. Tons of them. People really started collecting because football cards started to get good. Football card. I got tapes and CDs I collect too, Rob. Maybe we'll talk about those. Every Guns N' Roses, I got them over there. But collecting cards back then was going to the convenience store and buying a pack. And a pack had way more than 4 cards. Packs had 15, 16. We're going to open some old 1991 cards here today, so stick around. But the junk wax era, I do want to bring something up here to talk about briefly. I'll get more into it, but this is something from a long time ago here. This is some of my old cards that I collected back in the day. So if you look closely here, starting at the top left, you got George Brett rookies, Hank Aaron from the 70s, Pete Rose, Ozzie Smith rookie. A lot of these cards, almost all of them are gone. I sold them. I used to go to flea markets, card shows, and sell cards, buy cards. You got Dwight Gooden rookie there. You got that famous 1983 class of Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs. I still have some of those. In the middle, you're going to see a lot of those really old cards that I talked about. I have an uncle, God bless you. Uncle Paul sat me down when I was about 15 or 16 years old and showed me a box of cards. He said, if you see 2 or 3 of anything, just take it. And I said, Uncle Paul, that's Hank Aaron, Billy Martin, Sandy Koufax, Mickey Mantle, Rod Carew, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente. He said, take them. So if you see there, the Clemente's in the middle, the Willie Mays and a top middle, you'll see those little tobacco cards. So I did get some of those. On the third section there, more Willie Mays, 71 cards, 72 Clemente. I wish I kept my Clementes, to be honest. As a big Pirate fan, I have maybe one or two, but none of that Mickey Mantle up top. I wish I still had the Seaver, the Hank Aaron, but these are old school. None of these cards would be graded a 10 if I sent them away. And that was the beauty of them back then. I'm still the same way. I love the artwork. I love the designs. In 1978, I don't think I have any 78 cards up there. I think that Hank Aaron record breaker might be 78. But 1978, you could flip the card over and there was a game. Literally, it would say single, double, triple, walk, home run, or whatever. And you could divvy up the cards and play a game with the cards. I mean, there's all the sticking cards in the spokes of your bike. And I used to set up books and as a baseball field and line a baseball field and literally use the cards, put them in their positions, pass and hit a little eraser and play baseball. Judd's in the house. Charles Adderley is here. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, share it out. If you're catching a replay, leave me some comments on who your favorite players are. If you collect cards, let me know. Share this out to other people that collect cards. Because I am going to expose the industry here. I'm going to expose the hobby soon. So all these old cards, and I saw a lot of them at the card show we're going to talk about here soon. And look, I even have posters below here. But that's just something I wanted to show. I'm going to go through some more pictures of some of the cards that I have now, some of my collection, and some of the stuff from the card show and get in more depth about the card show that I went to. Now, back in the 80s and early 90s, maybe, yeah, when I was a teenager, flea markets, card shows were huge. I'd drive to Pittsburgh and set up a table. Flea markets would have 15 to 20 different card vendors. And we would try to, get the little kids to get the good cards off the little kids that didn't know no better and stuff like that. But it was fun. It was collecting. It was finding your favorite players. You see even on the banner here, all Steeler cards around, stuff like that too. Once again, I want to keep reminding you, if you see any cards that you like when we start going through what I got at the card show, probably the most I've spent at a card show in a really long time. Vic, I'll show you. I got Barry Bonds rookies right over here. I'm going to show you here soon. So we're going to check out the Barry Bonds rookie cards. I have 4 or 5 different Bonds rookie cards. And like I said, all this is up for sale. Almost everything. There's some personal cards I'm collecting that won't be for sale. But if you see something you really, really want, drop in my DMs. Let me know. I don't mind. I'm going to put a lot of stuff on eBay eventually anyway, so I'd rather send it to you guys. There's my man, Chad. We're going to talk about him shortly as well. But before we go into the next topic, which is into the 2000s and more, we're going to take a short commercial break. And those that like collectibles, yes, video games, toys, movies, all comic books, all kinds of things that were collectibles we talked about in a little show that I might bring back again very soon. And that's the Legion of Dork. If you guys remember the Legion of Dork, my boy Super Nacho and I started it. He no longer can do it, but I'm going to carry on a tradition. I did a reboot of like 80s sitcoms and stuff we talked about, but let's take a little commercial break, find out more about the Legion of Dork. There is a playlist on my channel if you want to go back and watch them. It's fantastic. We talked about movies, TV, comic books, cartoons, just about everything. And we're going to get into Pokemon cards too, Judd, so stick around for that. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Join the Legion of Dork.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a dork, it's a couple dorks, reminiscing some nostalgia in classic video games, toys, and cartoons. I'm your boy Blaised McCoy, and with my awesome friend Super Nacho, we invite you to join us in the Legion of Dork, a podcast where we talk about our favorites of the past and discuss it all with you. The good old days when video game arcades were full, pinball, and more. When the toy stores were stocked to the ceilings with all your favorites like G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Well, it started all with Pong with me in the 70s, then Atari, Nintendo, Sega,
ColecoVision and television and more brought new classics. Classics like Space Invaders, pew pew pew, and Donkey Kong. Pitfall. Dig Dug was a great one. Spent a lot of quarters on Galaga, that's for damn sure. Tecmo Bowl, hut, 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 touchdown, and all the sports games. Super Mario Brothers became an instant classic. So did Zelda and Sonic the Hedgehog. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was a great one to play. So was Street Fighter, Hadouken, and all the fighting games. Star Wars toys and Hot Wheels is where I started collecting toys back in the day. Masters of the Universe, and you can't forget the bad guys. Of course. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Inhumanoids are here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell. Can't forget the wrestling figures, WWF, AWA, and those little guys, the Muscles. Yeah, I love playing with those, are great. Thundercats, ho! And even Voltron brought them all together with movies, cartoons, and toys. Join us in the Legion of Dork right here on the Blaised Radio Network here on YouTube.
Yeah, so I did do a reboot of that podcast recently where we just mainly talked about 80s sitcoms and stuff, but I'm going to try to put together some more reboots, and you guys have so many ideas. And yeah, and not to leave out some of the other stuff like Barbie, very collectible. Dolls in general. My friend Jamie, she does all kinds of collectible dolls here on YouTube. Don't forget Garbage Pail Kids, Cabbage Patch Kids, and yet Strawberry Shortcake was a very cool one too. My sister collected strawberry shortcakes. They all smelled different. And yeah, G.I. Joe and He-Man sometimes would beat up Strawberry Shortcake. And of course, the Purple Pie Man from Porcupine's Peak, right? Yeah. Crash Bandicoot, Silly Putty. Now that's how we copied and pasted back in the day. The glass case. We're going to be looking at the glass case here very soon. Some of the cards that I have. That's way past me, but I saw that with Mitch's show earlier. Mitch's little stream. I got a Butterfly. I got to hook you up with Jamie. She does streams. Let's talk with Jamie. I'll make a note right now, Butterfly. I'll try to get you. I'll get you her link because she's great. She does streams on different types of dolls, tons, and they're very collectible, and a lot of them are very expensive. Willie Styles in the house, good to see ya. That was one of my favorite cartoons. We do old school. We do pause. Old school cartoons as well. So let's get back to what we were talking about here. We're going to get to opening packs of cards. We're going to get to a lot of the newer stuff and where cards and collecting has gone. So the 2000s to the 2020. This is where I took a little bit of a hiatus. I didn't collect as much. My stuff was back there. I'd buy packs of cards if I saw them out, which you didn't see a lot, especially in the teens and close to right before. And I hate to say anything good came from COVID, but I had that conversation with a lot of collectors. The boom in the card market went through the roof. So cards came back to be famous because everyone was stuck at home. Everyone's buying stuff online, stuck at home, start collecting again. eBay went nuts with cards again, and collectors started to do more. Then it took a weird turn, and this weird turn may have started way before because, like I said, I wasn't really into the hobby as much. This is where it's time to expose the hobby and talk about what happened and what kind of disgusts me. So there's some things that make me angry when I watch people talking about cards or like, I don't know. Let's get right into it. Let's expose the hobby. Let's talk about it. What happened to the hobby that I love? Well, if you go back to the first one, this is the first thing I don't like. I was a collector. Then in the 80s and 90s, things started to become valuable. So it really was investing. So people were, I'm going to put my kids through college with this card. Now, if it was a perfect 10 Jordan rookie, you might. 6-figure cards are out there. million cards are out there. Now, in the 80s or 90s, the first year, it was all mostly performance based. Sure, you had error cards and some short prints where it was rarity, but it's more rarity now. And the control of the companies making the cards is freaking insane. It's disgusting, if you ask me. Number one, and this is a plus minus, is grading cards. Cards being graded is a good and bad thing. It's extra protection. It values the card more if it's perfect. It really lets you know what the card is worth. So, like my friend Anthony, who worked for 2 different grading companies, I've talked to him a lot more, picked his brain about it. Shout out to Pittsburgh here on YouTube as well. Picks, Pittsburgh. My man Anthony from the area. Just happened, he used to be a pro wrestler with a lot of the guys from the Wrestle Sense podcast and stuff too. And, you know, then I really started to find out about the hobby where I wanted to get some of my really good cards graded. And if you go 2 or 3 years ago, right before COVID, I had no graded cards, 0, maybe 1, because I bought an old LeBron that was already graded in 2003. And we'll get to LeBron because I flipped him into Wemby at the card show. We'll talk about that here shortly. But grading cards, slabs, I think it's a good and bad thing. The problem was during COVID, there was so much backlog with PSA and some of the big companies. You had to pay over $100 just to grade a card. I mean, you can get a card graded for $20 now, but you're going to pay shipping. You're going to pay insurance. And then if that card is worth hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands or just thousands, you're going to pay more insurance to get it back. So much money can be invested into one card. And I have a LeBron rookie over there that we'll talk about. If it was a 10, it'd be worth thousands and thousands. It was a 9, it might be worth 1,000, you know. So I don't have any big time autograph. I have one of one that I just got, not recently. But now, the graded cards, I would say, is a good and bad thing. The price of it was pretty bad for a couple years, but it's turning into a racket. I couldn't find cards anywhere. The COVID boom, and cards were nowhere. And if they were, there were people showing up at Target and Walmart at 6 a.m. They knew who worked there and they bought them all up. So all those Luka Doncic rookies, and, you know, I stopped collecting baseball and hockey because there was so much out there. Remember I talked about the 80s? Donruss, Topps, Fleer. 3 cards you basically wanted to search for if you wanted to get all the rookies. Now, I collect Tyrese Maxey. I have over 100 Tyrese Maxey rookies behind this Blaised Radio logo. I'll show you that in a little bit. But more now, if you buy like retail and base cards are bad words. Ugh. So the affordable cards, you never get a big hit. You're never going to get that $1,000 card, or most of them don't even have autographs. I don't care if it's a purple elephant variant lightning bolt out of 3,000. I mean, give me a break. Now, for my PC players, you're going to see a lot of the variants and the autographs and the patches. I mean, to me, if I didn't get the autograph while I was standing in front of that athlete, it didn't matter as much to me. And back then, it was more performance-based. Whoever was the rookie of the year, that Dwight Gooden I showed you, boom, it went through the roof because he got rookie of the year. That still happens now, but it's such a lower, like, performance matters, but not as much as rarity. And that's disgusting to me. Something that can be good, but's been turned into something really bad is card breakers. They'll buy the boxes, they'll open them, they'll charge you $20 to get all the Dolphins or Steelers or Ravens from that box. You have no clue what you're getting. So that's straight up gambling. And then you see all the videos about breakers who turn the camera off and they put another card in and they cheat. So now you got that. You got people that are cheating people. And to me, the hobby, and it was funny because I heard this little kid talking about how he got ripped off on a card and someone stole one. And I told the guy that was behind the table, I said, at the card show, I said, I really love listening to kids talk about cards. Passionate. And he goes, well, not like that. And I said, yeah, I don't want to hear bad stories, but the passion in the kid's voice about collecting made me feel like a kid again. Shout out to Bryce and Mark Hipsley, the guys who put together the Pittsburgh Card Show and brought back old school card shows, over 400 tables. But all these hobby boxes for $200, brand new, this year's cards. You're not going to get the big rare cards unless you buy $20 a pack, $200 for one box of cards. And we're not talking about boxes of cards like this that had tons of cards in each box, 36 packs in a box. No, you get 4 cards. You get 5 cards. Some of you get 1 or 2 cards. So if you want to get a big hit, you want to get the best of your favorite player, you got to buy a $200 box of cards. This year's cards? That's ludicrous to me. And that's cheating the regular collectors. Is the fun gone in collecting? To a lot of people, I can understand why. Is wax dead? Close. I had this conversation with a lot of the dealers at the card show. You go around to 400 tables, I'd say less than 50 tables had unopened boxes, sealed boxes of cards. Retail boxes, hobby boxes, they're not this big either. They're a lot smaller. Less cards, more money. That's gambling. I'm not a gambler. I play fantasy football as the closest to gambling. There's casinos around where I live now. I don't want to go to casino and gamble. I pay nickel and dime poker with friends and stuff like that, for fun. But really expensive cards the first year is just crazy to me. Like, it should be affordable to everybody. That was the fun of it, that anybody could open a pack of cards and get a big card. Anybody could go and afford a box or a pack of cards. I used to go to the convenience store up the mall where they had cards and sit in the card aisle and just look. Now, then it comes into the next thing that I've heard recently, and this is really disgusting. This is really ignorant. And I did find a couple old wax boxes that I bought. I'm going to open some packs now, and I will during my Red Zone streams. CT scan boxes. Now, I've already heard the rumors that only the big hits are going to these certain breakers, these certain card shops, the big boys, so there's famous card collectors. There was one back in the day, the Card Man. I think his name was Rosen or something. And he was the man with cards back in the 80s and 90s. But now you got these companies that are in the pocket of the card making companies. They are CT scanning boxes. So they know where the big hits are. You can tell if the card's thicker. You can tell if there's embossment or gold on the card. So they know where the big cards are going to be. A breaker is someone who buys a box of cards and then breaks them online, opens them, and sends them to the viewers. You can buy into a break for $10, $20, $50, however much the cards are worth. But then you win either whatever team. So say there's football. And Judd, you give me $20. You get all the Indianapolis Colts that get picked. What if only shitty Indianapolis Colts get picked? You get nothing, or 1 or 2 common cards. So it's gambling. Try to box the treat and score full cards. Yeah. So available in your TeePublic store and many other shirts. Check it out. So breakers, if you look on YouTube, just Google, go to YouTube and go sports cards breakers, and you'll find a ton. They open the packs online. And I mean, we're going to do a little bit of that here tonight. I'll open this pack and say Chad Trader said, I want all the, he got the Steelers or whatever, because it's random. If there's any Steelers in these packs, you get them. And then you have to send them, it's so twisted that breakers are cheating. Breakers are lying about what cards are in the packs or switching out the main cards for other ones. So if you're watching a breaker, if you ever want to invest, sometimes they're fun. I've been in a couple with Anthony Pittsburgh because he's fair. He's a good dude. So I knew I could trust him. And he was giving free spots to the break to members or people that donate or anything like that. And that wasn't as bad. So I was in a couple of those. Not bad. Also, the grading of the cards. I did beta testing for a company called Arena Club. owned by Derek Jeter and other people. They gave me 100 graded cards for free. $10 a card, $20 a card. You do the math. They gave me a couple $100 basically to beta test their website, beta test how it was going, tell them what I thought about it, et cetera, et cetera. So I got 100 cards graded for free. Now, Arena Club, you put an Arena Club 10 and a PSA 10, everyone's going to want the PSA. This is newer companies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. GSA, there's so Beckett. There's so many different types of companies that grade cards. How do you know who to trust? Which one's better? Which one's worse? I just want to see if this is a perfect 10 card. But now sometimes there's cards like there's Star 86 Michael Jordan. The 9s are worth a ton because there's only 2 or 3, or it's an 8, a 9, I think it is. So it's really weird. It's all rarity. It's taken everything that was good about the hobby to a higher level, which is good. But then all the deceit, all the deception, because yes, there are $1 million cards out there. A friend of mine who just joined my fantasy league had a glass case at a show a couple last year, over $1 million worth of cards. The oldest card was like 4 years old. That's ridiculous to me. I mean, if you go back to these cards weren't good unless the players were good. Condition mattered a little bit. You didn't want a card with a crease across it or 4 round corners. But people weren't putting them under microscopes and looking at every I mean, you go to Arena Club and Arena Club for specific and Transparent Grading, which is Anthony's other company. They told you what was wrong. Bottom right corner, there's a bend. Side was showing white. This border was bad. Off-centered by this much. It told you why it was graded that way. That was awesome to me. And very transparent. Pardon the pun. But the hobby, you have to find your own part of the hobby you like now. You're not going to collect all the cards from every year. You might collect a base set, but then you get into Tyrese Maxey rookie. Then there's the blue variant, the purple variant, the autograph, the numbered card, the other variant, the hologram, the refractor. Blah! I just want a card. And there's a lot of people that say pieces of cardboard should not be worth money. But to me, back in the day, it was about the performance of that player. Mainly. Rarity did have. But is wax dead? I don't think so. Still kind of alive. But I had a lot of conversations with dealers at the card show as well about the fun being gone, not being able to find wax, do your own. It's tough. It's tough. To me, it was about the artwork. It was about the stats on the back to learn about the players. It was about finding your favorite players, finding your favorite teams, collecting a team set, collecting all your players from that year, or collecting a whole set. 1980. And we'll go over one of the cards I got back. I'm so happy. 1980 baseball. I collected the whole set. 365 cards or something. I forget what they were. I collected every card through packs. And finding those last 12 cards that might not have been a great card. You used to be able to go to card shows and they would have commons so you can complete sets. Not one of the 400 tables, I think, had common cards there where you can go, I'm trying to complete this set and I just need 4 from this set. And they pull it out. You used to be able to do that. So it's a little bit different. It's changed. It's evolved. Just like sports, it's changed. I just don't like to see someone, and I'm going to use this pack of cards here as an example. This is what pisses me off. I'm a card breaker, and I'm going to open this pack of cards, right? First of all, you got to be careful to keep yourself on the thing the whole time. How about a Bubby Brister to start us off? And they go like this. Oh, there's the one good card we got, Steve Young. That's it. There's the hit. We got it. What about all these cards? There's an Eric Bieniemy rookie. They're not great cards. What about the old glamour shots? But stop. Look at the card. Herman Moore rookie. He turned out to be pretty good. But they blare through. Just go to the good card and throw the rest of them down. That's disgusting to me. I said that. It's funny because I said that to somebody at a card table. I was like, you know what pisses me off? When I watch someone break a pack of cards and they go, I'll sell you some Tom Brady's butterfly. I'm selling a bunch of them. you know what I hate? And this girl was standing right next to me with the jersey on, her husband. And I said, I hate when breakers go right through a card and just show the hit. And she was like, that's him. That's him. I said, enjoy the cards, the artwork, the stats. But you'll see that way too much now. It's ruined the hobby for a lot of people. I don't think the hobby's ruined for me, but it has changed. I don't know why this is kind of grainy. This camera should be pretty good. Yeah, I got some Warren Moon cards too. We've opened some of those. This is actually the card that Chad gave me. This card right here, Jared McCain rookie. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate that. Here it is. This is my man Aggie. I was going to bring him on today, but I'm already rambling for 40 minutes. Time is money. The more they rip, the more money they make. So that's, I get why they do it. And it's just, I miss loving a card, not really Bubby Brister, but going through each card. If you watch me open packs, I will talk. I'll make fun of some. Look at it's a Cleveland Brown. Or look at the stance on this guy, or look what this guy's doing, or look at the hair on this guy, the mustache on that guy. That was fun with cards. A lot of the fun's been taken out. A lot of the fun has been taken out, in my opinion. And I guess it is what it is. We'll go back to the card cam here in a minute. So Aggie, my friend, who he's been in the hobby throughout all this stuff, so he can definitely relate. And I do want to bring him on one of these times to talk more about, how the hobby's changed, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all that good stuff. But CT scanning boxes. I mean, I just watched a video the other day from a channel. I should give credit to that channel. Where's the couple different channels that I just subscribed to recently, because they're exposing the hobby as well to some things. It's not listed here anymore. So anyway, I watched a couple videos where they're talking about they're going to start CT scanning these boxes. They're going to know what's in the boxes. And now you can pay money to get your boxes or packs sent out to get CT scanned so you know if the big hit's in there. That's disgusting. That's cheating. However, let me tell you something. Back in the 80s, I used to sit there and the cello packs, the wax packs, you couldn't poke and peek. But the clear ones, you could poke, pull up, and see what cards were in them. So I kind of did the same thing back in the day. But I didn't charge people extra. 89 Hoops basketball. You could see through the pack. And if you poke the card enough, you're also ruining cards while you're doing it. And poking through here, you could see what cards were in the packs. So yeah, we'd sit down in the convenience store and we would poke through some of the packs that were visible to see if you got that rookie card in there. Then you buy that pack. So I get it. But now paying $200 to get your box of cards CT scanned to see if you got that one of one in there. They did it for the Olympics. There's a 1-of-1 that's autographed by LeBron, KD, and Steph. You can buy that card for $8. There's like one out there that's autographed by all three. That could be worth a ton. And I mean, having a card in a pack, a card in a set that's valuable, that's always been there. Even back in this, let's look at this. We're going to open one of these 1990-91 football. There's an exclusive Joe Montana you can get in this pack. And so maybe we'll get that. But the hobby's changed, and it's never going to stop. It's only going to get worse, Judd. Matt Storm, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. We got Cowboy John, MSW. We're going to get into the good stuff now. We talked about we talked about how it's changed. And now that, yes, they're valuable, but there's so many variables to value now. It's card condition. It's getting it graded. It's rarity of the card. It's who's on the card. My day, who's on the card was number one. But it's changed. So my advice, just find out what you like. Check it out. 34 months at Miles. You've been a member. Thank you for being a member, supporting the channel. But my advice is pick a sport, pick a team, pick a player, and just enjoy it. if you like retail cards, like no one wants to buy base cards from, but I'm still collect. If you're a collector, you're going to go get those. But like you look at all the glass cases at one of these big card shows, they're nothing but numbered cards, autographs, patches. I get it. I understand those are the real valuable cards. Now let's look at this. Could you imagine being the scanner, scanning the box, finding the big hit, and telling you they didn't find anything and send a different sealed box? Yeah, that's what I mean. That opens up. I'll send you the link to the video that I watched, Aggie, because it's really eye-opening. Not only are only the big companies and the big breakers getting the important boxes, like when these companies are making these cards, they know where that really expensive card is, and they send it to a specific person. That's crazy. And now you're gonna pay money to grade the card. Now you're gonna pay money to scan a box to see if you got the hits in it. So I'm hoping they regulate it. I'm hoping they make some changes. I'm hoping something happens, but very skeptical, people. So find out what you like and enjoy it. Non-sports cards. We talked about this now. Back in the day, you can get a Dukes of Hazzard card or a Star Wars card. Wrestling cards. I have a lot of those. And then came along garbage pail kids, and they became a lot of money. I thought they were stupid. What else? Pokemon cards came along. I'm not into them, but it's pretty much the epitome of what I'm talking about. No Pokemon is going to hit 100 home runs in the next 2 years and be more valuable. No Pokemon is going to get MVP this year and increase their card. It's all about rarity. It's all about collecting and finding the big hits. Now, there's a game associated with Magic the Gathering, Pokemon. That's the cool part. But above and beyond that, it's the same racket. You ain't going to get the big Pokemon cards unless you buy the expensive boxes and cases, etc., etc. It is what it is. Times have changed. Wonder if they can make a CAT scan blocker. Oh, that's what they were talking about on this podcast. Is there a way they can box the cards, aluminum foil wrapping, so they can't scan them, stuff like that. So there's hopefully they combat it somehow, because the big hits going to certain breakers and card shops is bullshit as it is. Anime cards are big too. I mean, there's a tons of collectible cards, and we'll talk about a lot of them. So non-sports cards have always been there. And to me, a lot of those are even rarer. I have a Close Encounters of the Third Kind card, which I spilled chicken soup on when I was a kid. And I always called it the chicken soup card because it still smelled like chicken soup for a really long time. The second most valuable card in the ranking was a Charizard first edition Shadowless base set, which sold for $420,000. Now, there are people out there that invest. And listen, those people who, through the COVID boom, bought tons, should have sold a lot of it, because now those cards that were worth 10,000 might be worth 1 or 2. So it goes like this, and it's going to go up. It's going to go down again. Everyone's saying, get ready for the next junk wax era. They're going to start mass producing all these cards again, and I can see it coming. I hope it doesn't. And my nephew collects Pokemon, and I learned more about it because I've been buying him for Christmas. I want to buy. I've ordered boxes from China for him because he'll never find them here. But I want to give him things. I don't want to just buy at Target the regular Pokemon cards. I want to give him something rare. I understand the value. I understand the rarity. But it's kind of crazy how it's gotten out of hand when people get too much control and try to ruin this fucking hobby. And that I don't appreciate. So non-sports cards are always been a thing, and now even more so. And the fucking Huck Tua girl has a card. Celebrity cards now with autographs. I mean, the wrestling cards, I got a bunch. You see some of my wrestling figures and stuff down here. I have a bunch of wrestling cards. Yeah, I'll show you a couple over here when we go over these. I want to give a big thank you to a couple people, and I've already talked about them. Aggie is one, Ryan Agabon, helping me get back into the hobby. Sending some graded cards for me. I mean, there's ways around paying a ton to grade a card. There's Question: Can the Breaker remake card? What do you mean? Breakers are just opening packs, and sometimes they'll. It's. Hey, go watch some Breakers. You'll see. It's different. It's different. Not my cup of tea, but it's okay. Here's a crazy thing. Top 3 most expensive sports cards have been baseball cards. Hey, I sold a whole drawer full of football cards for $50 because football and basketball wasn't worth shit in the 80s. They were there, but they weren't shit. The baseball cards were the only thing people wanted. And every week I was selling cards at a flea market, really into the hobby. Making a couple $100 every weekend as a teenager. Yes, I bought a box of 86 Fleer basketball. I had 2 Jordan rookies. One was way off centered and one had a bent corner. I'm not going to get mad over, I still have some of the 86 Fleer. But those cards were selling for 6 figures. There's $1 million cards that are out there now, guys. All the 101s, all the, rarity. What's going on, my friends? Thank you so much, Dubs. Hit the thumbs up, share it out, all that good shit. I appreciate you, my friend. That's what loyalty is currency. Thanks for popping in, even if you don't like what we're talking about. But I want to give a thanks to Ryan Agabon, Aggie in the chat. He has helped me get back into the hobby. He's helped me understand the hobby and etc. And go to a card show. Some things I don't know, I'll go to him and ask, and he'll help out. So, so I appreciate you. I want to thank you, Aggie, for being there. Sports Collector's Choice. That's his IG. So if you want to check him out, I'll drop his @ in the chat here. Sports Collector's Choice, my man Aggie. I think that's yours. I hope that's yours. I tagged you in the IG thing. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Aggie. You're the man. I want to thank Anthony Selander, Mr. Tony Tilapia, Mr. Pittsburgh, for helping me get back into the hobby, for getting me in tune with grading and transparent grading team, and all the way out there with for getting me hooked up with the guys at Arena Club, so I can beta test. I beta tested their website and stuff. Got 100 cards graded. That was great, just to get me back into the hobby. And then I want to thank the Hardcore Sports Network, because I started, my Sixer fandom has raised, so now I collect a couple more Sixers and stuff like that. I want to thank Bryce and Mark from Pittsburgh Card Show. We're going to talk about them here in a minute when we go over the card show and everything I've found, because we're getting close to that time. We're going to go over all the cards that I got, and we're going to open some packs. So thank you, Bryce. He used to have a card shop right in my hometown. Bryce is the man. They gave over $10,000 worth of prizes at this past show. That's crazy. I didn't stick around for the prizes and the giveaways, but he's doing great things for the hobby. Big shout out to Mark Hipsley. Big shout out to Bryce Virgin. You guys are amazing. And I can talk to Bryce about wrestling for days. I love the man. So thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Aggie. Thank you, Mark and Bryce, for helping me, and all the respect I get. They know me at the card show. Blaze, hey, what's happening? They know I do Red Zone and stuff like that. So it's amazing. But I wanted to thank them all for being there and helping. We're going to get into the Pittsburgh Card Show stuff now. After our next commercial break, and I see we got 16 people in the house, so it's a good time for this commercial. Red Zone's coming back, folks. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Sunday.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Blaised Radio Network and Hardcore Sports Network here on YouTube. Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, it's the NFL Red Zone Show. All the games, play-by-play, live game audio, and statistics. Join me, Blaze McCoy, with some wild and wacky commentary like always, and enjoy 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 games or more all at once. Every big play, every touchdown, the Red Zone Show. In case you can't catch your game or want alternate commentary, stop by and enjoy the ride. It's non-stop football action. Right here on the Blaised Radio Network, right here on YouTube. Hardcore Sports Network, the Red Zone Show, coming this fall. Every Sunday at 1. See ya in my stream.
All right, Red Zone every Sunday coming back soon. Blair Hathaway, welcome to the show. You're tuned into Blaised Radio, the real Ghostbusters. How you doing, my friend? Love the Ghost. I just watched the newest movie. I like it, Frozen Empire. Card collectors out there, make sure you guys stick around. We're going to show off Archie comics. Nice comic books. Yeah, I told you. I got my favorite comic right here, Spider-Man versus Wolverine. I got G.I. Joe. I got Transformers 1 through 4. I got a small comic book collection, but I love it. Not a big comic book guy, but big thanks. If you're new to the channel, hit the thumbs up. We do wrestling content, all kinds of sports, basketball, and our collectibles here today, Blaised cards. We're going to go over the card show and some of the pickups that I got at this card show. Normally, I don't spend a lot of money. I told you at the beginning of this stream, I've never spent over $100 on a card. Never. Now, in trades, yeah, I've sold cards. So, yeah, that Jordan rookie, I got it in a pack. I sold it for $100. It was off-centered, and the corners weren't great. But I turned basically $1 into $100. And I did that a lot when I was a kid, buying cards, selling cards. You buy and sell your cards. I mean, you look back at this picture, and I told you, I don't have a lot of these anymore. But at one time, the Clementes, the Benches, the Mike Schmidts, the Aarons, the Ernie Banks, Willie Mays. I had these all. But I sold them to people who wanted them. And I made money off of everyone. I didn't have to ask my parents for money very much when I was a teenager because I kept making money every weekend. So we are going to talk about this card show, the Pittsburgh Card Showcase. All right, we need to mute this. There we go. All right. So the Pittsburgh Card Showcase was over the weekend in Little Washington Crown Center. Free admission, free parking, which is great. Some of the bigger shows you got to pay for. I was going to go to the National the last 2 years and I missed them. I don't really know if I want to go to a National. I don't have thousands of dollars to spend, but I turned $250 of LeBron into $250 of Wemby at this card show. We'll go over those in a second. Jake the Snake Roberts was at this show. Jimmy Hart, the Mouse of the South, and I'm a big wrestling fan, so those were cool. There's Jake. God bless him. He's older. He had the oxygen tank and stuff on. It was $60 for a picture and stuff, but sorry, Mark and Bryce. I had to sneak a little picture of him. But shout out to Jake, one of my faves as a wrestler. Amazing. He was there to sign some autographs and stuff. Yeah, definitely a big thank to Mark and Mark and Bryce for putting that show together. So Jake the Snake Roberts was there. It was good to, see pro wrestlers and to see that they're doing that and bringing, athletes and people back to sign. There's the Mouse of the South there, Jimmy. Good old Jimmy Hart, all of his megaphones and stuff, and his Hulk Hogan jacket that he had on. Wendy Richter was there as well. I saw she was at a different spot. She was only there for a day or two. And look, she wasn't as expensive. But here's Wendy Richter with Mark Charles. He's one of the referees for local indie wrestlers here. Shout out to him. I stole this from his Facebook page, Wendy Richter, doing autographs. And like Chad was pointing out, Troy Fatanu, who suffering from an injury right now, get well. He signed autographs as well at the show. And I got to meet my man, Chad Trader. There he is. Big shout out to Chad. There you go. And there's Chad. Got to meet him and sold him all my WNBA cards. He gave me this Jared McCain card that you see over here. That card. Thank you very much. Let's move it so you can see it. So Jared McCain rookie card got drafted by my Sixers. So thank you, Chad. You're awesome. It was nice to meet you and your friend finally. So meeting someone who is just a name in the chat after all these years is pretty cool. And I've always loved to meet any of you guys. Primetime, Wally, Cowboy John. I'd love to meet you guys. Butterfly, Vic, Leo and Teddy. I've always said those guys up in New York. All you guys. Goddess of Pain is not far from me, and all different people. So I got to meet Chad. That was awesome. And I appreciate him. And it was just cool to hang out. let's get to my pickups. Let's talk about what I got at the show. Before we show off all the individual cards I got, let's talk about some of the cards that I have here. So I recently finally purchased 2 glass cases because I find now I have enough graded cards to fill them up. And I fell in love with these mags, they call them magnet cases, one touches. I'm loving those. Bought like 60 of them for less than $1 a piece. So I'm putting a lot of cards in those. It makes even crappy cards look pretty good. So you got to invest in your cards. Back in the 80s, you didn't put cards in plastic sleeves. You put rubber bands around them and threw them in a box. They didn't have, we had screw downs. We had cases towards the late 80s, early 90s and stuff. That's when all the protection started coming, when the value became good. Like I said earlier, when it went from collecting to investing, that's when all these plastic cases, penny sleeves and hard cases and everything came out. So I'm going to take a closer look at these cards here in a little bit. But here's a little closer look at some of them. There's Billy Ripken, that famous fuck face card. Top left, second card is Billy Ripken, Cal's brother. For those that don't know, on the bottom of his bat, it says fuck face. And that card became pretty valuable because of that. The Pete Rose next to that, 1972 Pete Rose, I got for one of my birthdays. I think it was my 16th birthday. Tony Gwynn rookies, Ryan Sandberg rookies on the top, Mattingly rookies, and I got the third one, thank goodness, at this show. You see Magic Johnson. You see some wrestling cards at the bottom. There's Hulk Hogan rookie cards, Bo Jackson with the bat over his shoulder, Barry Sanders rookies. And like I said earlier, if you see any cards on here that you're interested in, drop me a DM. I'll sell over half of this collection that I have. Totally up for it. You want to buy a couple monster boxes of commons for $5-10? I'm down. So I'm trying to sell over half of my collection. I want to get it down to just a very small PC. The other glass case, a lot of newer cards. Up top, though, you see Dion rookie, some old Joe Namath. Look at the top right corner, the Beastie Boys. I found that one online for $5. Pretty cool. But if you see anything that you like while I'm showing these cards, drop me a DM. Let me know. Andre Rison rookie, not worth much. But if you like Andre Rison, it's worth something. I think one of these boxes has that Favre rookie. And I'll be open a pack. I might get it. But the problem is it should be worth a lot because it's Favre's rookie in the Falcons. The bad thing is they made tons of them. So you see on the bottom row here, some of the cards that I'm collecting now. Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Halliburton, Lauri Markkanen, Michael Porter Jr. Those are some of my PC who I'm collecting. John Morant and Zion. Please do better. I got a lot of LeBrons, a bunch of Jordans. That's a Jordan rookie sticker in the top left corner. It's just not in great shape. So I did keep that. Jordan second year. LeBron, there's that LeBron Chrome that my man Aggie got me graded. It's a 9. If it was a 10, it'd be worth like 100 times more. But it is what it is. Some Lucas. So I'm starting to recollect some stuff as well that I didn't have or I did have as a kid. This is in my bedroom. So all these binders up top are full of sets. I have error cards, Steelers, team sets for the past 20 years in the Steeler binder. And the two you see here in the middle, those are all monster boxes full of hard cases. Now, they're 50-cent cards, or dollar cards, or $2 cards. But I'll sell everything you see in the picture here. Common cards in the boxes below, miscellaneous football, wrestling. And this box here you see on the very left, there's where my cats play too. Autos, numbered, patches, and parallels. I don't give a shit about any of those unless it's in my PC. I sold a box of those for $80. They were all autographs, numbered cards, patches, and parallels to a guy at the Uniontown Card Show a couple months ago. $80. Some of them are decent players, but they were all rare cards. I don't care if it's a purple elephant refractor. I don't, unless it's someone I'm collecting. And then you come across today. This is what we're going to go over now. I don't want to show too much of it because we're about to show off the collection, the cards that I just got. When did you first start collecting? 1979, 78, and 79. I was getting packs of cards in 78 and 79. I was 6 or 7 years old. Just getting 1 or 2 packs of cards. I had some. And then in the 80s, I started collecting a lot more. Late 80s, I started selling cards. They were starting to be worth money, and I was going to flea markets and card shows and selling them. So let's talk about the cards I picked up at the card show. We just talked about this Jared McCain that Chad gave me. I appreciate you. You're the man. Very cool card. Did not have it. What's the blue material hanging there? In my bedroom, that's just a tapestry. Just what? This tapestry? This tapestry on the right? Yeah, it's just a tapestry. Wall artwork. So this is my guy I'm collecting right now. Mataz Buzelis. Buzelis got drafted by the... These are cards I got in the mail. These are my eBay cards first. Out of 100, this one was given away at the National last year, 2023 National, and there's only 200 of them. So I got this off of eBay for a couple bucks. Hopefully he's good. He blew out both of his knees. Just got this one in the mail the other day. It's a Embiid rookie. So I didn't have any Embiid rookies, so I'm collecting those. They're not worth that much, so I'm getting them for pretty cheap. And these are just the base cards, no autograph or nothing, no variant, just a rookie Embiid. And then, like I said, don't care if it's a lightning flash, purple elephant, whatever bullshit. There he is. What is up, Solo? Wrestling cards. I got a bunch. I got to do a stream just on wrestling cards once. That's how much I have. So I do collect maxis. So this year's maxis, and these are variants that I'm getting for $1, $2, blue variant, green variant. So I'm getting these for $1 or $2 on eBay just to get them. No big deal. Decent cards. And we're going to open some packs here soon too. And then I got this. I'm recollecting some stuff. This is a 1985 Mark McGuire USA. Now, it's only a 7, but this is a card I used to have. And probably all my old cards are 7 anyway. And the collector, this is what I love when sellers do this. He threw in a Barry Bonds, a Will Clark, Tony Gwynn, Nolan Ryan, and a Greg Maddux. 88, I believe, 88 or 89 tops. They're not worth much, but he threw in free cards, and I appreciate that. It's pretty cool. So I finally recollected this card, one of my holy grail from when I collected. There's 2 more that's coming up too that I found at the card show that I recollected. So let's talk about some of the single pickups I got at the card show. Once again, Buzelis. I'm collecting him, hoping he blows up. It's another variant of him. And listen, these cards probably worth $1 together. They ain't worth shit because there's millions of them. But to me, getting a cool Barry Bonds. We'll show you. I mean, I showed you. If you look at the top of this screen, you got Bo Jackson rookie, Griffey, and then there's Barry Bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4 Barry Bonds rookies. Top center of your screen, my Barry Bonds rookies. I have 2. There's a Leaf and a Donruss. And then there's Spider-Man hologram, Wolverine holograms up here. But yeah, these Barry Bonds rookies, they're not worth a ton. They're not in perfect condition. But I have pretty much the ones that were his rookies. So Buzelis. And I just got this one at the card show too. I put it in a better holder. There's an autograph Buzelis. And there's only... Oh, this isn't a numbered one. But this is, autographs. If I collect the guy, I'll go for the autographs. If I don't collect them, autographs don't mean much to me. Got a maxi. Just one, a Halliburton that I didn't have. Nothing big. But these were at a 50 cent or $1 boxes at the card show. I don't collect baseball anymore, Vic. So baseball and hockey, I stopped collecting. So I don't have any Paul Skeens rookies. Luka Doncic, couple just regular base cards I didn't have. cool Luka from this year. And since you can't buy this year's basketball hardly anywhere unless you want to pay a shit ton, I have to buy singles. So, I mean, and that's my advice. If you don't have a lot of money, just buy the singles that you like. Another Luka from this year, nothing special. And then I collect Tyrese Maxey. I'll show you those in a second, but this one I did not have. So I got that Maxey. These are all just basic little base cards. This is another one of my PC is Anthony Edwards. This is a rookie. It's a variant. Nothing major, but like I said, I'm hunting dollar boxes, $2 boxes to find these cards. A newer Ant Edwards. It's a variant. So like this one I didn't pay $5 for it. I bought it with a stack and he gave him like $2 off each card. So that's a rookie Anthony Edwards, which, see, my philosophy now is to try to trick the system. Last year, before Tyrese Maxey blew up, I was ordering his rookie cards for $1 a piece. I got a ton for 50 cents a piece at a show. This year, they're all $3 or $4. So I've tripled my money in Tyrese Maxey in 1 year. Hopefully he takes that next step and becomes, perennial all-star. Halliburton, the same thing. I was buying Halliburton cards for $1 or 50 cents last year. I got a little late on him, but find a new guy. That's what Buzelis I'm hoping for. Here's more Ant Edwards. Love Ant Edwards. But these, like I said, these are $3, $4, $8. I got it for $5. So I got a lot of these for half off of the ticket price, or I would just get a bunch. Wait till you see the next stack. I can't wait to show you the next two stacks. So these are just little cards here and there. A Ja Morant variant that I don't have. Another Ja Morant, which I hope he makes a great comeback. Let's see what Solo is saying here. The creator of Dragon Ball Z dying to pick up a few packs. What do you think about the really weird? Hey, we talked about that. We talked about non-sports cards earlier. Pokemon cards, Dragon Ball Z. I mean, if you're playing Magic the Gathering, you're playing, Pokemon, there's games associated with it. But it's the same as cards now. Non-sports cards have always been there. They've taken it to another level now, especially with Pokemon, with the refractors, the variants, the graded cards, and all that. But it's impossible to get them all. I understand why people collect them. They're fun, but Charizard's not hitting 100 home runs in the next 2 years. Pikachu's not going to be the MVP, and his cards are going to go up. So you know what I mean? It's a little different. But I get it why people collect those. You got Ja Morant again. More Ja. We're getting to the good stuff now because I sold LeBron rookie box. I got the box for $10. There's two of them. $10 each. I turned it into $250. We're going to talk about that soon. Chet Holmgren. I don't have a lot of his rookies, so I was buying them up for $1 or $2. So I got some basic Chets. And like I said earlier, these are just base cards. It's a bad word to most collectors. You're not going to see base cards in a lot of them. Zion, hopefully he comes back. Who Vic said or someone said, he lost a lot of weight. He's looking really good. Yeah, bubblegum, tobacco. You go to the beginning of the stream, I was telling you, tobacco cards. Go back to this picture. Top middle. Those are tobacco cards. Those are out of tobacco packs. So they started in tobacco, then they have gum. When I open some of these and there's gum, I'll eat the gum. I'll eat 30-year-old gum. I don't mind. Is Dark Hole money? I love it. Pikachu won't hit any Grand Slams. That's your right. How does the value go? It's all about rarity. When you're talking about, it's rarity and condition. When you talk about Pokemon and non-sports cards, the regular sports card, like back in the day, I talked about at the beginning of the stream, it was mainly performance. Only the really good cards were worth money. The really good players, I should say. And then condition. Now it's condition first, and rarity and condition first. More Zion variants. Lauri Markkanen. I really wish the Sixers could have picked him up. He's a gem. He is awesome. Utah Jazz got a pretty good team. We got another Mark. This is Alfred Sengun. Sengun's a beast. You can get his cards for pretty cheap right now still. So pick him up if you have, and that's another one. And I got this Jokic. I thought it was pretty cool. Fuck you, Noah Lyles. Doesn't know who Jokic is, but he wants to challenge NBA. Says that NBA players shouldn't be world champions. Fuck you, Noah Lyles. He didn't know who Jokic was. All right. We'll talk about that on the Pick and Roll. Wednesday Pick and Roll podcast, of course. Now, I talked earlier about my Holy Grail cards that I had, how many I sold, all these cards you see here that I sold from the 70s and 60s and 80s. I talked about my 1980 Topps baseball set, collected through packs. 365 cards, I believe, 300 whatever, and 200 whatever. Finding those last 12 cards was tough. I had to go to card shows, and back then they would bring commons to card shows. So 1980 Topps, I collected the whole baseball set through packs. Then I had some extras, so I had the singles that I really wanted. Put the set together, put a price on it. I think it was $80 or $100. Went to Green Tree Marriott in Pittsburgh, $20 for a table, I think it was. I had tons of cards for sale. I turned around to help somebody out, turned around, my box of cards was gone. The entire 1980 baseball set was stolen from me. It was inside a hotel convention room. There was so many people. It smelled like nerds. And I ain't talking about the candy. Body odor, teenage body odor, and such. I couldn't find the guy. He was long gone by then. Ricky Henderson rookie. I've wanted to recollect this, and I will not pay over $100 for a card. I finally got my Ricky Henderson rookie back. The corners are bent. It's not in perfect condition, but it's not bad. No gum stains, no writing. Corners aren't super bad. This would probably be graded a 6 or a 7. I've been trying to get it on eBay for under $50. They all go over $50, especially the graded PSA ones. This one here, $40. I finally got my Ricky Henderson rookie for under $50. I wasn't paying over $50 for this card. So Ricky Henderson rookie, this is my holy grail. I'm so happy to finally have this back. $40 was the most I would pay for it. I think the price on it was 60 or 50, but he took 40. So thank you. I can't remember which vendor it was, but to get that card back in my collection, it's going up on that showcase that we're about to go over and look at the showcase here in a little bit. I might have to turn a light on. And then let's go back to this poster. Oh, this one. Nope, this one. Top right, inside the case, Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly was my favorite baseball player. He's the reason I'm a Yankee fan. He's the reason I was a first baseman. Even though I was a left-hander, my batting stance was just like his. Top right, you see Fleer and Topps. Those are his rookies for Fleer and Topps. The toughest one to get is the Donruss one. I think I had one back in the day and probably sold it. As I was leaving the card show, I saw this guy who had tons of 50s and 60s and 70s cards. We talked about cards for a while. I told him I was leaving. I didn't want to buy anything probably, but I loved his collection of really old vintage cards. I found my Don. It's off-centered. Like crazy off-centered. You can see the white border on the one side is a lot clearer than the other side. The back isn't that great. The corners aren't that fantastic. But to recollect a card after 30 years that I never thought I'd get again. I had $50 left. This card was priced at $50. Let alone paying $100 for a card. I didn't want to pay $50. And you know, when you go to cards dealers and shows, they're willing, you know, whatever the price is, they're probably going to sell it for a little less. Sometimes they overprice cards for that. I did the same. I used to do the same thing. But to get that card for $40, he said, okay. I said, I need $10 to go to Popeyes on the way home. I got to eat dinner. He was like, you got it, $40. So to get two cards in my Holy Grail back in my collection for under $100. It's pretty phenomenal to me. Two of my favorite players of all time. Two of the reasons I played center field because of Ricky Henderson. I played first base because of Don Mattingly. I was so happy to get those guys back. These are classic. Now let's talk about LeBron James. Hey, McShrey. So I told you earlier, I had a Jordan rookie. I sold it for $100. It was off-centered. The corners weren't great. I turned basically something less than $1 into $100. I can't be mad about that. Could I sell that Jordan rookie for maybe $1,000 or more now? Probably. But that's the nature of being a collector, especially someone who resells. You're going to take hits. You're going to lose stuff. You're going to have stuff stolen from you. What goes around comes around, I guess. So I was watching QVC all stoned and drunk one night as a teenager in the year 2003. LeBron James was a rookie. Everyone's saying he's the next Jordan. And I'm flipping through the channels all hot up and drunk as a teenager. QVC, LeBron James bobblehead, rookie card from high school, Sports Illustrated Kids card. That's my first graded card. It's over there. I'll show you shortly. And boxes of unopened LeBron sets. $10 a piece. I sold them at this show for $250. I turned $20 into $250. What I do with that $250? I reinvested it into the new hottest thing, Victor Wembanyama. So that $250 turned into this. This is all Wembies. So could I be mad about selling my cards and not having them anymore? Could I be salty about not having my Clementes and my mantles anymore? Yes, I am. But I kept some of these. I sold a bunch. Like I said, I had money as a teenager because of pieces of cardboard. I was selling cards everywhere. Let's look at the Wembies. We'll start with the base cards. I was getting them for $5 to $8. And like I said, you can't find boxes of this year's cards very many places. So where am I going to get Wembies from? Now I have $250 in the green. I'm reinvesting LeBron, which I have some of those cards still. They were unopened boxes. The one box could have had an autograph of LeBron, but it's like 1 in a million chance. I hope that guy got it, to be honest. He's a seller. That's what he does. I hope he got the autograph LeBron. I didn't open the boxes. They were unopened. So these are base Wembies. $5, $8, I think I may have paid at the most for these. Not bad. Not bad. These will be the least valuable of the Wembies as they get older, though. Same thing with this one. Just a base Wemby. No big deal. Prism. But you look on eBay, these are all $10 or more. Here's the other one from Prism, not Prison. This is a select Wemby. And of course they know he's going to be a big thing. So instead of just putting one card in their set, there's 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, and then all the variants. So Wembanyama, another one. I have 15 Wembanyama cards that I turned those 2 boxes of LeBrons into. Wemby. And then here comes the good ones. Little more expensive. Maybe $10 to $20 for some of these ones, which they're worth more. I bought 4 Wembies off of one guy, and it was $100. These 2 are the same. I didn't realize I bought 2 of the same. So if anybody's interested in buying this one, I will sell one of these. Everything you see today is for sale at the right price. If it's not in my personal collection, it'll be dirt cheap. So if you're interested in any of these cards that you see, DM me. Let me know. I'll send it to you. We'll work out a price. If it's not one of these maxis or ones that are in my personal collection, I don't mind getting rid of them. Some of my PC I'll probably even sell. These are variants, so they're worth a little more. Another subset, Express Lane, Wembenyama. Once again, not worth a lot, just the basic ones. These aren't the big time ones, but I'm not spending over $100 for a card. I still have never spent. I'm not a big time high roller with cards. Here's another base Wemby. So what I did was collected all the base Wembys I could because I didn't want to pay $20, $30 a pack. This one's also for sale because I was looking for two of them that he had. He had two of these. For $40. He had a graded one for $55. $40 a piece for these ones, I believe, or 30 or 20 a piece, something like that. No, 40. And then this is a 10. So I got all three of these for under 100. So he was like, you can get this one for 55. That's only $10 more. How much for all three? All three for $100. I think this one's worth 100 itself if you go on eBay. This is a PSA 10 Select Wemby rookie. It's a base rookie, I believe. But you never know. Is it the blue one, the red one, the green one? But this Wemby is a 10. That's a 10. It's a 10. How many 10s do I have? Not a lot. So that's all my pickups. Spent a couple $100, but like I said, $250. I turned from the LeBron into that. So I made it work best I could. We're going to take a little tour over here real quick of all the stuff that's behind me with the card cam here momentarily. But we've covered a lot. We've gone from collecting to investing to gambling. We talked about my beginnings in the late 70s, early 80s, the junk wax era, the 90s, which you got Jordans from the 90s. Everyone that collects and sells has them. They're not worth a lot, but you never know. The 2000s, the 20s, I didn't buy very much, but then COVID hit and the industry blew up. Exposing the hobby, we talked about how expensive it was to grade cards. We talked about breakers opening packs and cheating. We talked about the fact they CT scan boxes to find out the hits now. That's the newest thing. Wax you can't find anywhere. $200 hobby box if you're going to get the hits. We talked about non-sports cards, the Pokemons, the movie cards, the TV cards, the Magic, the Gathering, all that other stuff. I wanted to thank all the people throughout the years that helped me out through the hobby and everything. I'm going to show you a poster from my first card shop that was in my mom's basement. We talked about the Pittsburgh Card Show. Thanks to Bryce and Mark for putting this together in Washington, PA. Over 400 tables. Jake the Snake was there. Jimmy Hart. There's Jake. There's Jimmy. Wendy Richter was in the house. Former women's champion. The first real big women's wrestler. Her and Mae Young probably. And Troy. I missed him. And my boy Chad. I got to meet Chad at the card show. There's another one in November 1st. I don't know if I'm going to make it there or not. Big shout out to Bryce and Mark. If you're watching this replay, you guys are awesome. I appreciate everything you're doing for the hobby, bringing big card shows back where you could literally find just about anything at that card show. But what we're going to do now for the final thing is take a little tour of what's behind me. So I'm going to switch to the card cam for the final part. I'm going to turn on the big light, and we are going to card cam it. Mobile with the card cam. You guys still hear me okay? We're going to take the card cam on a little trip. Here's my setup if you want to see my setup, what I see. My notes, my buzzer. There's the stream. Laptop has that on my notes for the show. There you go. So we're going to take a little tour. Can you guys hear me good now? Let me know in the chat how my audio is. Can you guys hear me okay? How's the audio, guys? Let me know. Ooh, that camera's bad. What's going on with that camera?
I might switch to my other phone. Camera might be better. Let's check it out. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey, J&W Sports Cards. Hey, make sure you check out the rest of the stream, man. We talked about a lot of stuff earlier. Let's see if I can bring this up. Maybe the camera's a little better here. Oh, never mind. Camera's not great, but we're going to go with it. First thing I want to show you guys is some of my one-of-ones that Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know in the chat you guys can hear me. Hey, Fiona. Because I switched my audio. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Anybody in the chat? Let me know, yes or no. Audio. How's the audio? Can you guys hear me all right? Audio check. Hear ya. Okay, thank you, Fiona. So I'm a big Kentucky fan. I put this together. Yes, thank you. Thank you. J&W, have I known you before you knew? Welcome in, my friend. I'm really good to see you, my man. We talked all about cards. We exposed the hobby for CT scanning boxes and shit. So I took old Sports Illustrateds and made this. See it pretty, you can see a little better. So these are this is a one-of-one that I put together. My favorite team, Kentucky. There's a Michael Jordan one that I made as well. A collage of just Sports Illustrateds and stuff like that. Dr. J, one-of-one. Put that together myself as well. I made a LeBron one, but I gave it to my man Anthony. Shout out to him. Another Jordan one from different posters. Can't really see it because of the lights. And this one's really cool. I incorporated cards into this one, and we were talking about the Olympics. Check that shit out, man. There is, I wonder if it's better this way. Hell yeah. Team USA. Now, those are 89 hoops cards and 90 hoops cards. Nothing that big. But put together in a thing like that really is damn cool in my opinion. Someday maybe I'll sell that as well. Like I said, if you go to the beginning of the stream, any of the cards that you see coming up, they are for sale. I told you I collected tapes, old hip-hop tapes, CDs. I got tons. So we're going to talk about the stuff I got back here. Of course, Terrible Towel. Some Pittsburgh, I'm from the Pittsburgh area, so obviously a bunch of Steeler Pirate collectibles. Those McDonald's glasses from the 80s. Mini helmets and such. The Dude Abides. More collages that I made. And I'm a big Spider-Man fan. And that's actually a bobblehead of me. And yes, I love the McRib, and I can't wait till it comes back. I even saved a container. And there's my own old cell phone. Yes, a really old Barkley jersey. So all the cards and stuff you see, hit me up in the DMs. Nightbot will drop my social media links if you're interested in buying anything. There's my comic books, 2 of my comic books that I have. I have a handful. There's another old Spider-Man there. Wolverine, #1. G.I. Joe. And we talked about the Legion of Dork, which is all old collectibles. Transformers, #1. Transformers, the movie, #1. Old Hulk, Masters of the Universe. And then I have a lot of these collectibles. Here's original Transformers. Yes, that is an original Bumblebee. An original Optimus Prime. It's actually missing a piece if you look really close. The left arm or the right arm. So original Transformers, for those toy collectors, the original He-Man, original Star Wars toys, So there's the original Luke, in bad shape, but my favorite Boba Fett fell over. Stand up, Boba Fett. One of my favorites. Damn you, Boba Fett, stand up. Jabba. And then, do you guys remember Mad Balls? Mad Balls, Mad Balls. Mad Balls were great. I don't know. And starting lineups and some McFarlane characters too. There's Jordan. Jordan, first year. Baseball starting lineups. I have tons of these starting lineups. These are just some of my favorite ones. These used to be really collectible. I had a friend of mine, his dad bought every starting lineup, kept one in the box and one out of the box. Crazy. And then for you gamers, look at these old games. If you're 50 or 40s, you might remember some of those handheld games. Just hearing the sounds take me back. How about basketball? Pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Rage? No one's as ugly as you. I look young, but you can't change you're ugly. For those that know, I collect jerseys as well. One for every NBA team I have here, a bunch of college ones as well. Helmets. There's Jordan cards from North Carolina, unopened. That's something else I might flip into some newer cards someday. Snake Eyes, G.I. Joes, He-Man. I got starting lineups. And then down here, we talked about, wrestling figures. Old school wrestling figures from back in the day. Those are T-shirts in the back that when I was a kid, WCW, NWA belt. And there's a ticket with Hawk back there. Ticket stub with Ric Flair picture. I actually found this. My neighbor by his pool had a bunch of, in a bag, a bunch of old toys. And this is a remote control Batmobile. I had to, kind of fix it up. An NFL electric game. I remember those too. Now, we showed this earlier. Here's the poster. That dollar is the first dollar I ever made selling cards back in the 80s. So from 1990, late 80s, this is the poster for my Uniontown cards, and I had cards in the basement of my mom's house and sold cards and ripped off all the kids in the neighborhood. And now it's Blaised cards. And we showed these earlier, but now you can see them a little better. The Bo Jackson rookies. There is Barry Bonds. Toys R Us pack. There's a Fleer rookie, a classic rookie, Leaf, and there's a Donruss one behind it, which is the same. Leaf was the Canadian version. And here's some non-sports. It's a Wolverine and Spider-Man. This was the Holy Grail. This is the one that was supposed to put all your kids through college if you kept it. Not so much. They made a lot of them. Mattingly rookies. Ryan Sandberg rookie. None of them are perfect. You see the grades are 6s, 8s, but they're protected and they're a little more valuable because they're in those cases. There's the fuckface card. You can't really see it, but under his bat it says fuckface. And some more cards here. Nolan Ryan's, Shaq rookies. There's that Bo Jackson with the bat on his shoulders. Great stuff. I have some Stockton rookies for sale if anyone wants one of those. Not in great condition, but still there. Barkley rookie. There's that Hogan rookie. And there's Lesnar and Britt. And there's Anthony. There's Tony Hansen. My boy Anthony from Pittsburgh has his own card. Gus Gerard from my hometown. Got him. There's a Buzelis autograph. And then the two guys that I collect right now, Tyrese and Tyrese, Halliburton and Maxey. This card I just got. This is so cool to me. It's the freaking Beastie Boys. Someone made, come on, focus. Someone made this card. I got it for $5 off eBay. Let's see if how you can get it to focus. It's the Beastie Boys. So some of the more ones, like I said, if anyone sees something they really, really want, hit up my DMs. You never know. Embiid rookie and KD rookies I just got off of eBay for pretty cheap. That old Namath. There's a Peyton from back in the day. O.J. Simpson from the 70s. Tomlinson and Randy Moss rookies, but they're not worth very much. They made too many of them. Deion Sanders, Tomlinson. That is a Jordan rookie sticker. Can't really see it that great, but it's a Jordan rookie sticker. Bad condition. Jordans. My older Jordans, some really good ones there when he played baseball. Jordan hologram. Another KD rookie I got recently. LeBron rookies, including this one you can't see really good, but that's the one that could have been worth shit tons if it was a 10. And that's the one I got from QVC. Iverson rookies. Can't see them that great. I was trying to get the lighting good, but with all the plastic and everything. Booker, Luka. I got some Luka rookies I need graded. There's a Steph rookie. There's Ja and Zion. And then the ones I collect now, Porter, Markkanen, Halliburton, Maxey, nothing major. But this is my PC here. This is my personal collection. You can see Anthony Edwards, Durant, Williamson, Porter, Jimmy Butler, Giannis, Curry. All these are Zions, Ja. These are all Halliburton. The Buzelis that I'm collecting now, look how many. These are all, this guy hasn't played one NBA game yet. And I got all these cards of him. Hasn't played an NBA game yet. I'm hoping he's going to be good. Luka rookies that I need graded. In this box here, more of my personal collection. Tyrese Maxey. These are all Maxey rookies. Same here, Devin Booker, all my Kentucky boys. For those that don't know, there's a lot of Kentucky players that have played in the NBA. Jamal Murray, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, John Wall, SGA, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Quickly, Randall, Cat, Tyler Hero, DeMarcus Cousins, Shaden Sharp, Oscar, Shaden Sharp again, PJ Washington, Ty Washington, Rob Dillingham, Aaron Bradshaw, DJ Wagner, Justin Edwards. I love my Kentucky. Old school cards here, LeBron's, error cards, football. And I told you I still had some of those 86 where Jordan's rookie was. There. So I got Akeem. There's Chris Mullen, Dominique, Drexler. USFL cards. I used to have both of these sets. I sold the old set, but I actually started recollecting them. And I found, not the greatest condition, but this is USFL. You got Jim Kelly, Doug Flutie. I love Doug Flutie. Doug Williams, Steve Young, Herschel Walker, Reggie White. So those are all USFL cards that are probably worth a good bit, but they're not in great, they're not perfect shape. But the USFL cards blew up for a while, and that's about it. So I have a lot of collectibles here. If you see anything you like, drop my DMs. You never know, I might sell it. Rex Chapman, my favorite. I have his jersey. So a lot of collectibles here. It's all fun. Jamal Mashburn. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. A lot of Kentucky players that have made it to the NBA. But that is... All right, let's get rid of that and bring back this.
All right. Now we're going to wrap it up. Been a fun stream, man. This has been a blast. Some of you guys stuck around for the whole thing. If you're watching the replay, I was going to do an hour. That's why I didn't have a guest, because I knew I'd go for 2 hours because I had a lot to talk about. This has been a lot of fun, showing off the cards that I picked up, talking about the industry. So if you're a collector whether you're just starting or if you've collected for a long time. Things have changed. Yes, it's discouraging because you can't go out and buy all the big hits. You know, it's gambling. But find your niche, find your team, find your player, and try to enjoy it the best you can. I am trying to sell at least half of my collection of cards. This stuff that I showed you back in a bedroom, all these boxes of cards, I'm willing to part. I would sell everything in this picture except for that Steelers binder up top. Those are all team sets, just my PC. But all the rest of this stuff, it's up for grabs. I mean, each of those boxes are, you know, stars in baseball, football, and basketball. And none of those cards in there are worth more than $10. All the good ones I picked out, but they're all decent cards, and there's tons of them. And I'm willing to part with a lot for less if anyone's ever interested. I mean, I doubt anybody wants to buy all those commons in the bottom, but I'll sell a box of commons for $5. I don't care. But the collecting, if you like to collect, you can still have fun, even though it's changed a lot. But that's about it for today. This is my third Blaised card stream, so you can go check the other two out where I talked about cards as well. And like I said, if you're interested in buying anything you saw here today, hit me up in the DMs. You never know. Ooh, I almost forgot. We got to open a couple packs of cards. What am I doing? We're not done. Let's open a pack of each of these. This is the part I was waiting for. All right, we're going to open a couple packs of cards to end the show here. Let me get the card cam back because that's kind of important. All right. So I'm going to open a couple packs of cards to end this thing here. So first, we got 1991 football. You guys notice anything? 50 cents a pack. I know it's decades ago, but 36 packs, 16 cards in each pack. Let's see if we can get some decent cards here. I don't know if there's gum in here or not. Let's find out. Oh, it's not wax. It's kind of like a cello wax, so there might probably not gum in this. So that can never be a breaker. I don't want to. No gum. Oh, no gum. Flip that over. 1991. So we're looking for Barry Sanders, basically. Kevin Porter. Maybe this needs to be up more to focus better. I'm not sure. Calvin Williams, Eagles. And I'll be doing this during my Red Zone streams. We'll be opening packs as well. Wesley Carroll of the Saints, wide receiver from Miami. Greg Jackson of the Giants. Rob Moore from the Jets. Still nothing. Look at that dude. I want to meet that dude in a dark alley. William Roberts from the Giants. Still nothing. Scott Steven. Jared Bunch. Michigan boy for the Giants. Neil Anderson, 1,000-yard rusher. All basic common cards so far. None big. Jesse Anderson. Tony Woods. Henry Ellard. Daryl Grant. Phil Simms. Dan Owens. So that's a shit pack, but I'm hoping that maybe once we open some of these cards, we'll maybe get a Barry Sanders or some other Hall of Famers. I'll be opening these. Let's do one more. During Red Zone, I got to find a better way to get the quality. The camera should be good. It's just not coming up good filming it. That's why I don't do opening packs. Oh, shit. There it is. Barry! It might be worth $1. You know what I'm saying? It might be worth $1. But it's a Barry Sanders card that I don't have from 1991. Hey, Junior Seau was one of my favorites. R.I.P. Rod Bernstein from the Chargers. Andy, what the heck? His last name's Heck? What the heck? Tommy Barnhart. Chip Lowmiller, a couple kickers. Freeman McNeil for the Jets. Kevin Glover Lions. Ooh, Jerry Rice highlight. That's pretty decent. Ain't worth shit, but it's Jerry Rice. Sometimes it's not about what the card's worth. You know, you might just like the card. I got a couple Pat McAfee rookies coming in. I ordered them. I finally got one. Dan McGuire. That dude was supposed to be good, right? Quarterback, Seahawks from San Diego State. Mike Babb. Lomas. I want a regular Barry Sanders. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so that's 81 Topps football. Let's go to Fleer Ultra. Got to actually open the box. I got these for $20 a piece. And the value isn't in trying to get the best cards. It's $20 for tons of cards to go through. Now, this, I believe, is the Brett Favre rookie. I believe Brett Favre rookie is in here. So let's hope for Brett Favre. Fleer Ultra Football. We'll do 2 of these as well. You ever go like pick to the bottom and take the bottom pack like it's going to be better? Well, with CT scanning boxes now, you never freaking know. All right, Fleer Ultra Football 91. I wonder if this is like one of the first years they started doing aluminum. Well, I guess 89, the upper decks were in aluminum. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, my goodness. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? The first card! Are you shitting me? It's a Brett Favre rookie. The first card. You saw me open it. I ain't scamming none. It's not worth a lot. But this is the best card in the set right on top of the first pack. That's insane. Look at me getting excited over a $3 card or whatever it's worth. Actually, where's my other phone? I mean, the days of the past of finding out the value of the card, you had to have a Beckett. Internet wasn't around. But now you can just go to eBay, hit the camera. Dude, I can't believe. And hit the camera, take a picture of it, and it'll show you what it's worth. They are selling for $2.25, $1, $5. So it's the best card in this box. The first card, bro. That's nuts. That is insane. That's like I was talking about exposing the hobby earlier. People that pre-open the pack, they know what card they're going to get, and they call their shot, and then, oh man, hope we get a this card. And then they open the pack and it's in there. I didn't know shit here. You can't see through this. Unbelievable that that's the first card. Might have to clip that for a short. Thurman Thomas. These are pretty decent cards too. Nice looking. Hall of Famer. Even the backs look pretty good. You got 2 action shots, a regular shot, the logo, all the stats. I cannot believe that Brett Favre was the first card. Al Smith, Howie Long, Icky, do the Icky shuffle. Steve Sewell. I gotta check the camera settings. There has to be like a focus or something to fix that. M. O'Harry, nobody. Thomas Everett, Steelers. Arthur Cox, Chargers. Terry Wooden, Seahawks. The Fridge, William Perry, baby. Sterling Sharp. Gary Clark. And Herschel Walker. Nice. I cannot believe. I used to save I have a book of just like these, just the wrappers. So if there's any rare wrappers out there, maybe I have it. I ain't talking about wrapping. Can't believe that Brett Favre was the first card. That's so nuts. Makes me want to open the whole box now. I'll save it for halftime at the Red Zone streams. Broderick Thomas. Nice. Dan Marino. It's another one worth throwing in a case. Jeff George. What did he bum out? Jay Taylor, Cardinals. Hey, someone said Andre Rison earlier. Who was talking about Andre Rison? There he is. Left Eye Lopez burning down his house. Hey, I'm good to see you, Wesley. I'm better than Mitch. Ernie Mills. That's a rookie Ernie Mills for the Steelers. He was okay. Leonard Smith. That's a pretty cool card, though. Like, he's just all hanging with the fans. Johnny Meads. Jay Schrader. Carl Zander for the Bengals. Dennis Smith, Broncos. Rob Thomas. Hardy Nickerson was a badass. All right, that's 2 packs of sugar. No, 2 packs of Fleer Ultra 1991. I should have grabbed a business card from the guy I bought these off of. He was really cool. $20 a box. I mean, you got to think it's, 30 years old. These boxes are older than a lot of you in the chat. 30 years old. All right. Last box. We're going to end the show with this. 1991 NFL football Upper Deck High Series, which means it has a limited edition Joe Montana that you can hit. So already 91, they were already starting to put some rare cards in there to try to make you want to get a hit. 91 Upper Deck. Upper Deck is started in 89. That Griffey rookie we showed you. We got 2 packs. Let's check them out. To see that when I'm talking about breakers cheating, they would like take the pack off, take the good card out, put another card in, and then go like this to open it. And then the people in the chat get the card. Like they were totally ripping people off. Emmitt Smith, not a fan, but Hall of Famer. If anyone wants Emmitt Smith or Troy Aikmans, I got tons of them. I'll sell them all. Any Cowboy fans out there want Cowboy cards? Get a hold of me. I'll sell you a shitload of Cowboy cards for cheap. Oh, these are going to be all inside, outside, upside down. Bobby Hebert, quarterback for the Saints. Oh, nice Steve Young. Getting some nice dollar cards in here. Vinny Testaverde. Boy, you think they'd be able to package these? Even nowadays, you get packs like that. Henry Ellard. Ronnie Lippett. Ethan Horton for the Raiders. We got another Herman Moore. Deion Sanders, maybe? Well, this would be like his 3rd card if I get a Deion. How many years did he play? I don't even know how many years he played. Keith Jackson. Calvin Williams. And Seth Joyner for you Eagles fans. Last pack. We're going to get done just at the 2-hour mark here. Close it out with our final pack of Upper Deck. If you're watching a replay, leave me a comment. Who's your favorite player? You want to buy any of the cards that you saw? Not George Pickens rookie. It's a Bruce Pickens rookie. I don't know who Bruce Pickens is from. Nebraska. Pepper Johnson for the Giants. Felix Wright. And then we got a bunch of fucking backwards and upside down cards. Ooh, checklist! Yay! Cortez, Kennedy, Ed West. We got John Flannery. Rookie. Brian Noble. Can we get one more good hit before we're done? One more Hall of Famer or something? Doubt it. Derek Fenner. Wes Hopkins. Jay Hilgenberg. And we started with a Favre rookie. We're ending with Terrence Mathis of the Jets. You want to talk about gambling in cards every time you open a pack of cards, it's gambling. But we talked about it earlier, how ridiculous it's become to have to buy the really expensive sets. I don't think I've ever had this card. I didn't buy Fleer Ultra football back then. So 91 Fleer Ultra, Brett Favre rookie. I just pulled. How about it? So thank you, Chad Trader, for the Jared McCain card. All the Wembies we went over, including my Wemby rookie PSA 10. I have Wembies for sale if you want one. Same card, just not graded. That's it, guys. We talked about a whole lot. I'm so good to be back streaming Thursday night. Tomorrow at 5, Pick and Roll Podcast. We need a commercial for that podcast, by the way. Pick and Roll Podcast tomorrow at 5. We're going to talk NBA. And Thursday at 7, I'll be back with wrestling. And then not this Sunday, but next Sunday, man. NFL football is back. Peace and positive vibes, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Leave me some comments. Who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite team? You want to buy some cards? You see one you liked here today? Want to make me an offer? Drop it in my DMs. I'm willing to sell just about everything you saw here today. But I appreciate everybody for popping by. Drop a like. Leave me a comment if you're watching a replay or something. And maybe I'll bring on some guests next time. Big shout out to Bryce and Mark for a huge and amazing card show. Cheers to you guys. Thanks for helping keep the hobby alive around here in Western Pennsylvania. Appreciate each and every one of you for being a part of the show. I'll see you in my streams. We out of here. Thanks, everybody. Peace.